this one is the ideal setup for taking photos of specimens. So on a table or any surface, you'll be setting up your neutral colored surface somewhere here or all over the table surface. Then you have this specimen right over there, and you have a tripod or any stable structure really to support the camera that you would be using to take the photos. So make sure that the distance and the zoom levels are constant when taking the photos. If you're zooming it using a ×2 zoom or magnification on your camera, make sure that it's constant throughout all of your samples, especially if you're doing a series of photos for your specimens. And if you don't have any tripods, you can make your own or use a stack of books, so you will have that same elevation all throughout. The reason that we do this is so when we are going to be processing photos for measurements or for analyses, it'll be easier for us not to reset or recalibrate the photos based on the scale that you have right there. So we'll be taking a look at how to take specimen photos or do specimen photography. So we do specimen photography for our reports, our publications, or our thesis, in order to show what organisms have been we working on or what organisms we have observed in the field. So first things first, you will need a camera for your specimen photography, because again, it's photography. So you can use a digital camera standalone like this one, a point and shoot, or you can use a mirrorless camera or a DSLR, as long as it can produce good quality pictures. It should be fine. Also, you can also use your cell phone cameras, because majority of the cameras available now on mobile devices have pretty good cameras functioning. Next is you would be needing a neutral colored surface. In this case, I'm using black desk mat, and well, in some cases you'll be using a white surface or a white surface. So it can be paper, could be a cardboard like this one. You can also use slate boards. So slate boards like these. Unfortunately, my slate board has something written on it, so I cannot use this as a neutral background. But there are some slate boards that we have that have one side that is blank. You can use it, and this is very useful, especially when doing or taking pictures in the field. Aside from that, you're gonna be needing a scale. So a scale is any object of known measurement. So the best scale for this, the best scale would be a ruler. So it'll guide you, or it'll tell you or tell your readers the measurements or the scale of the size of your specimen that you are taking a photo of. And of course, you'll be needing a pencil or a pen and eraser. So the reason that we have we use two different kinds of neutral backgrounds or neutral colored surfaces is because sometimes when we are dealing with specimens, they come in a variety of colors. Some would be darker compared to others, and some would be lighter. In this case, I'm going to be using this coin as a dark surface, as a dark specimen, and this bivalve as our light specimen or lightly colored specimen. So it would be difficult for everyone if you're going to be taking a picture of a lightly colored specimen on a light surface, and vice versa. It would be difficult to see or to clarify the details or to get the clear details of the specimens you want to take off a dark specimen or dark colored specimen on a black neutral background. So that's why we have something, we always have a surface that is both light colored or dark colored. So for that. So the way we set this up is, so let's start with this. So with the surface, usually again it's paper. We take our pen or pencil and we write the details of the specimen. So this is, let's say, specimen 1, number 1, and we put in the details such as the date that you got the specimen, date, so 08-11-2021, and the site, so Bremen, Germany, because this is a German coin or a souvenir from Germany. Then we use the scale and put it like that. So should look something like this. So the reason for this is the labels is so we don't mix up our photos, especially when it's in the drive. Unless you are very meticulous in your work, where you rename the file names of your photographs, that would work also. But it would be better just to put a label here saying the specimen number. If you have the species, that would be, or the scientific name of the specimen would also be good. The family and any other details. And then we have the scale. Then next is we take our cameras and we take a picture. So make sure that when taking pictures that your area, your specimen is well lit. So this camera has a flash. I'm going to be using the flash function of this camera. In some cases, the flash might be too strong, where it'll obscure some of the details of your specimens. So, the photo. When taking a photo, make sure that you get the scale, the label, and the specimen itself while focusing on the specimen. And there. So also, it's a good reminder if you are using this setup is to remember the elevation of your camera and the zoom levels. It should be constant all the time. You shouldn't zoom in and zoom out as frequently as you shouldn't zoom in and zoom out often when doing specimen photography. You want it to be just at the normal zoom level at ×1. In my camera it says it's a ×1, and you have to maintain the constant elevation of the camera from the specimen. So in this case, you can use a pen as a marker, or you have a pile of books that you can put onto the side where you can rest the camera or your arm when taking photos. Make sure that it's in constant elevation. While this might be difficult, especially when doing specimen photography in the field, this is where our scale would come in. So if ever you want to process your images, your photographs for measuring your specimens using a software like ImageJ or in other programs, having the scale would actually allow you to accurately measure everything of your in your specimen, or get the measurements of the details and structures of the specimen that you're trying to take a photo of. So in cases where you want to take photos of a lightly colored specimen, so the same is true. Just put the specimen there, the scale, and if you have a piece of paper, you can write the details there. or in this case, I'll be using this sticky note, where I'll just put in specimen number 2, the date, and the site. There, and take the photo. And that should work. So now that's it for specimen photography. So that's it for specimen photography. So remember to get the materials needed, especially the scale. In the case of the scale, you can actually use other objects aside from a ruler, something compact. Some people use coins and then later measure them to get a more or less accurate scale or a reference for their photos. I have used popsicle sticks, the one from the Magnum ice cream, because that is approximately 8 centimeters here. So that's approximately 8 centimeters, and it is easy to carry, and if it gets lost during the field work, it's not too hard on the wallet, or it won't be too hard for me to find another replacement for it.